I met a gypsy.
I wonder if those little E50s are going to change. Because, I mean, that was the thing, like, for us, you couldn't ride in the backyard because you had neighbors, and it's like, it's just the noise thing has just f***ed us forever. But I wonder what's going to happen when, you know, you like, I want to buy an Alta. Like, I just want to get one just to say that I got an electric bike, and so I can actually do some, just literally go ride wherever. Because I think that there's going to be a pretty crazy revolution in dirt bikes coming when the whole e-bike thing is just like really widely adopted.
Yeah, I agree. You know, like just the KTM and the Husky and the Gas E50 right now that came out, you know, just them riding it in Supercross was like, that was so cool. Not hearing the noise and them actually getting to hear the fans, you know, like drastically getting to hear the fans cheer for them and shit like that. And then, you know, seeing a step up, Josh Hill and Colby Raha and stuff like that, they're out riding Altas in the skate parks, and, you know, and like they could probably be there for a couple hours, you know, before someone saw them and reported them, you know, like it takes seeing you to get the cops' attention riding an Alta at the skate park, you know, like the dirt bike, you're there for 30 seconds and you're not even making it to the skate park for bid, let's say, you know, like the cops are already on your tail because you rode it out of the driveway 5 feet, you know. It's like the e-bike is going to make a big step in the right direction for us motocross community and just in the kids in general, you know, like the world's coming to what it is. Everyone's getting pickier. No one's liking noise. No one wants sound, you know. And it's like, for example, I've been staying at the State of Ethos compound, and they're being fined $1,000 a month for their track that they have on their property from the HOA, you know. And it's like, so okay, what if we all had e-bikes and there was no noise? Could we ride? You know, that's not sound. That's all they're being fined for is a sound ordinance. So it's like, okay, what if we all had e-bikes? Every single one of us, a 65 e-bike or a super mini e-bike, you know, something along those sides. Like we need that because it's going to come down to that eventually where it is too much noise. It is too much ruckus for everyone. And it is. At first, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at first, you know, because heart and soul of noise for the motocross. But then, like, you know, you want to. But then after riding one and everything like that, I'm like, dude, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing when you're riding it. Just no noise. It's the same thing. But you can do more stuff with neighbors around.
Have you rode many e-bikes? Like, have you done a variety of them and seen what's out there? Because I haven't even ever rode one.
Yeah, so I've done the Alta. I've done the Alta dirt bike. Good? I've done the Alta Supermoto. Yeah. It's a little heavy, but I mean it's an electric vehicle. You know, it's going to be heavy. It didn't come with the greatest of suspension, but you could have made it better with better suspension. But other than that, it was a great bike. You know, like the speed was awesome. It felt just similar to a 250F. Just very, very quiet. It was weird at first when I first rode it. I rode it at Portland International Raceway up in Portland, Oregon. And it's like more of a stadium style track. So like kind of super crossy jumps and stuff like that. And it felt nice. It like, even though being a little heavier in the front, it kind of dipped the front end down a little bit, but like kind of, you know, being the cool guy, that's the style. Dip the front end down, and that bike kind of helped you do it.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I mean, I saw AJ Catanzaro got one. And he's been doing some stuff on it, and I was like, man, I kind of want to be a part of just like trying to make that shit happen, you know, because I feel like you got to adopt the technology for the technology to work. Like at some point, you just got to pony up and just like kind of get in the game with it to like, I guess, start the more consumer momentum for it. Kind of like with Teslas, you know what I mean? Like when I was in America, there was no one driving Teslas for the, you know, they were out. Like there was heaps of them were out, but just wasn't adopted. I feel like it's kind of one of those things where maybe it's more people have got to sort of adopt them and make these one-off events and just start to get a little bit of momentum. But it's such a bummer that Alta went out of business.
Dude, yeah, it is. And honestly, all it takes is for you just to ride one. Like that's, for example, for me, like I didn't ride one when I wasn't a fan of it. As soon as I rode it, it opened my eyes drastically. I was like, dude, yeah, this is the future. This is what we need. This is what our sport needs. And another bike that I rode that's not so moto, but I rode the Q-Berg, the bike that Josh Hill rides around, and his brother Justin. Yeah, and like we, me and my manager Hayden and my girlfriend Shawnee, we went up there and got to actually go test and ride those bikes, every single one he makes. And dude, those are badass too. Like you can ride. There's one of them, I forget which model it is exactly, but that like you can ride it on a supercross track. You can't do all the big shit, but dude, yeah, like Josh Hill, prime example, dude. He like rides his whole entire supercross track pretty much at his house, does jumps, does on-offs, you know, like, and they're fast, they're reliable, and the Q-Berg was on another level too, in my opinion. Like, you know, like even just city riding, you can ride them on the street in the counties you're in, like from work, you know, point A to point B. They're silent. We could go on mountain bike trails or even walking trails that some people don't like, you know, the mountain bikes or dirt bikes, whatever. It's like, dude, the Q-Berg was awesome too, and that's gonna open up people's eyes too, like that when they come around more. And Josh Hill's helping them, I feel like, develop a lot of stuff, and like expanding the brand and getting them into moto more. And once a few moto guys get their hands on them, I feel like that's what everyone's gonna push, is like electric. That's what our sport needs for sure.
It was funny. I was when I did, it was probably like 2017. I did the Straight Rhythm podcast, and we were talking with Kenny on there. And Kenny, I was saying to him, I like literally made a bet with him on the podcast. I think I was like, before you retire, you'll be racing an electric bike in Supercross. I was probably a little bit off on my prediction. It probably won't happen before he retires. But I mean, at some point, you'd think that it has to go that way, right?
Yeah, I think so, dude. I mean, before Kenny retires, no, probably not. but man, maybe in 20 years, maybe.
Nah, I reckon it'll come soon, man.
I would like to think so. But I feel like why didn't Harley buy out Alta? Like why?
Yeah.
Why did they do it and then do nothing with it? Like, you know, I feel like that. In my mind, I feel like they were getting too advanced. They were finding out too much stuff, you know, and so a bigger company came in and kind of shut it down. Or maybe they took it and took their knowledge and created their own electric, which they do have an electric Harley now.
Do they?
You know, maybe they. Yeah,
that seems like
pretty
that
badass.
That seems like getting a fucking hooker for a hug.
Yeah, exactly my point. Like, you know, like they're stealing knowledge, or they're wanting them out of business for a reason. You know, like that's my opinion behind it. Like, we may never know. But
what do you think a Supercross, like an electric Supercross race, would be like? Because, you know, you can look at that E-Series. There's like an E-Series for it's like a Formula 3 type deal, you know, where they've got like all electric cars, and it's like the appeal of, you go to a MotoGP or a Formula 1 race, and it's like you feel it, you know, like it's like a full body experience of feeling it. And I mean, it's even the same.
You smell the race fuel.
Yeah, big time. And like, if you're on the floor of a Supercross race, and when you feel like, dude, first practice at a Supercross, especially in like a closed stadium like Phoenix or something, and they got like the roof on and the echo, and then you're down on the floor first practice, and you just hear like the first bikes hit, and it's always Justin Brayton that does like the first three in a rhythm section. You know, they're like, what? And you're just like,
yeah, exactly.
That shit's gnarly, dude.
As soon as they fire him up on the line, it's just like, you're like, oh yeah, like you see like that noise, like you're saying, everyone's like, fucking revving them up. Just it gets you excited. Just even the noise, you know, it would be different. Just like, what do you hear? Nothing. Just yeah. Just not even that on the line, you know, because like you're just gonna turn it on and sit there silent, like not even do the old 50 parent and like clean it out, you know, like you're not gonna clear it out. So like you're just gonna sit there, turn it on. You're literally gonna hear the or not even hear the card go sideways, but just like the fireworks or whatever on the side going off. You may not even hear the bikes because the fireworks are still out on the starting line, you know.
You'd be literally able to hear the monster chick fart.
Yeah, you could.
literally like, on the way back.
What's that smell like?
Yeah, I mean, it would be, yeah, there'd be so much would be lost in like the sound and stuff like that. And I mean, maybe we never need to go to electric bikes in the stadiums, you know, because it's like a sanctioned event or whatever. Like, but then you got to think for them to sell those bikes, like for whatever company that's going to invest the millions of dollars that it takes to develop a bike that you could race at Supercross as an e-bike, you're going to want like the best guys in the world promoting those vehicles.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you're going to want Ken Roxon riding your bike. You're going to want Adam Cianciarulo riding your bike. And it's like, will those guys take the step off of the equipment that they've been riding their whole entire life and, you know, get used to this thing? Or, you know, money talks, obviously, but will they be willing to take the step in that direction of getting off of something they've ridden for 30 years, you know, when it comes to that time of a team?
Yeah, well, you got to think too, like, there's a lot less shit that can go wrong on an e-bike, really. Like, there's way less moving parts, no combustion. Like, it actually, as I think about it right now, it's probably safer.
Oh, 100% safer. Like, obviously, there's no motor for it to blow up. Hand grenade, send valves here, send the crank through the cases, whatever it is. We don't even shift, you know, like it's all or nothing. So, like, no transmission, nothing like that. You're not putting oil in your bike. You know, you're not buying gas, no liquids, maybe just the battery acid inside the battery. That's about it. Just go. Less moving parts, like you're saying, safer. I mean, you can feel it dying. It's not like it just like shuts off on you like a dirt bike does when it locks up. You know, the battery just, when it's dying, it slows down. You know, you can feel it. So you could safely be like, okay, my battery's dying. Let's safely exit the track now and go charge it up. You know, like your bike blows up. Sometimes it just fucking hand grenades on a lip and there you go. So like you're saying, it could be safer 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, think about even too, like this is the most thought I've ever put into this, by the way, so I'm just like fucking shooting off the hip, but think about like data and shit even, you know, like if you've got a Supercross track, and then, because Jack Miller's a real good friend of ours, and obviously he's like factory Ducati, so we talk to him a lot about the bikes and the setups, and dude, some of the shit that's on those MotoGP bikes is fucking out of control, and like they've got different data for different sections of the track, and then they're like letting the engine have different levels. Like, can you imagine you got like a data tech dude at HRC and you got like a whoop section and then this like real long skatey flat turn around before a rhythm section. It's like as soon as you hit that thing, it's like the motor's just getting, you know, 60% power.
Yeah, let your RPMs control up.
Yeah, because that's how the MotoGP
like
stuff
he's all
works.
controlling it.
Imagine if we fucking get to that level.
I mean, that it could be safer in that way too. You know, like, okay, let's limit the bike here so he doesn't come into this section wide open. You know, like he's making a mistake because he has too much throttle here. Like, let's lower the RPMs of the bike here and let's retard the system a little bit here and then raise it up here. Like, it could take it to a whole nother level.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.